We put together an African immigrant task force, and one particular gentleman stated that there's an 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that was, how are we going to deal with Ebola? And that's what started it. So the fact of the matter is people did outreach. Between the cultural performances, which were very special, very meaningful, and the high quality of the panelists, I think people got a sense that two things. One, a lot of work has to be done in West Africa. We got some ideas of organizations that could be donated to, grassroots organizations. We got an idea, secondly, about how the City of New York is really being responsive from different agencies, the Department of Education, Human Rights, all the health agencies. And then third, I think people saw that we are serious about doing follow-up. There's a lot of follow-up. We want to make sure there's no discrimination. We want to think about how we can be more supportive in West Africa. And I think we want to basically thank some of the workers who are coming back and going back and forth. So I think tonight was education on many levels. Tonight obviously was discrimination should not be taking place and what you can do about it. It was a real wanting and urging and hope that we do more for people who do have Ebola in West Africa and don't have the kind of health opportunities that we have here in the United States, and what we can do about it. People are very, very concerned on those two levels. One is both I think are very thoughtful and thinking about the whole community. But it's going to take some follow-up to make sure that these two issues are addressed. Discrimination should not take place, and we should be more thoughtful towards what we're doing and supporting in West Africa. And then we should also make sure that there's no bullying and no discrimination, not just for individuals, but businesses too. Well, the African Immigrant Task Force, I think, provides a voice for individuals. It's things that I can learn, we can learn in the Manhattan Borough President's office, but also it's a voice that's not heard often. It's often other immigrant groups, but not the African. And so I think we need to make sure that voice is heard. And I think tonight and other forums are indicating to everybody who's making decisions in New York that the African voice is very important. Not just on Ebola, but on healthcare and jobs and businesses and many, many other issues, women's issues. I'm a reach-out person, I'm a hands-on person, and I have been in government or nonprofits since the Lindsay administration. That's a long time ago. Don Lindsay, he was mayor before you were born, and most people in this room. So I've been doing this a long time. I'm always reaching out. That's my nature. That's in my DNA. But I learn from reach out. So it's a two-way street. You're always a two-way street. So I would say it's both. And of course, when we had the task force, it was unbelievably smart, intelligent, committed, dynamic individuals, all of whom are leaders in their community. And people brought ideas together. So it's a two-way street. The last word tonight was a very successful event, thanks to Thina and Kofi and many others who made it possible, Alison. And now what we need to do is to follow up on how we're going to be supportive in West Africa. What is the city doing to make sure that discrimination doesn't exist individually and against businesses? We've heard a lot of stories here and in the Bronx about discrimination, and that's something that the city can do something about.